All right, welcome back to another trade recap. As you can see by the title, we caught a really good win today. This is the exact trade that I took, as you're seeing on the screen. Supply and demand, supply and demand, supply and demand. I'm gonna keep on repeating it. Supply and demand, to me, is one of the most simple strategies that you could trade. I'm gonna go over quickly exactly the trade that I took. If you want to see the live execution of this trade, make sure to check out my Instagram or TikTok. That link's gonna be down in the description. Um, but yeah, we're just gonna go over this trade real quick. Everything that went on today. As you can see right now, the market was extremely bullish. I'm not gonna lie, I did not take this full trade all the way up to here. I took it at this supply right here because this is where I thought it was gonna reject, and we did get a minor rejection off of it, but it was just a fake out, and then it continued to push up. But you can see that I got this supply demand. My bad, but I got this demand marked up, and this is the setup that I took. It was a really small demand, and it happened exactly at 9:30. So we had this selling candle that was created at 9:29, and then this buying candle was created at 9:30. So this is a valid setup for me. I usually like to wait for New York session to open before I start looking for supply and demands. And as soon as New York session opened, we created a nice demand. So this was the reason that I got in this demand setup. So we just been getting a lot of buying pressure since yesterday, or this whole day. London session, then New York session just kept going up. If you look on the daily time frame, I did mention this yesterday. We were gonna recreate a demand, and you can see on the daily time frame we recreated this demand. So sometime, hopefully, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but we're probably gonna retrace back into this demand. But this was the recreation that, so that's why I had a bullish bias for the whole day. I was looking for buys. There was no sells in my mind to take, and this was the demand. This was a pretty risky trade. I don't usually like really small demands like this, but we got this rejection off of it. We almost got stopped out. We were really close to getting stopped out. As soon as I got in the trade, we almost got stopped out, but we got that rejection off of it exactly as I wanted it to, and we got that full TP at the supply. I had my one TP one at a 1-to-1, which was about there, and this is where I moved to break even. It was like a mental break even. It pulled back down a little bit, and then we eventually hit full TP. But yesterday I did take a trade. If you didn't see that trade recap yesterday, make sure to go check that out. But yesterday was a 1-to-1 trade. And a lot of people ask me like why I take 1-to-1s, or 1-to-1s aren't good, but sometimes those 1-to-1s help you get these bigger trades just like this. It's just sometimes you need that mental win, or you just need that small win just to get to that next step, which is the bigger wins. And I'm glad I took that 1-to-1 yesterday. I could have made more yesterday, but I came in today with the mindset of I'm just going to continue to follow the plan. I'm not going to, if a 1-to-1 was supposed to happen today, I was going to take a 1-to-1, but I had this target right here, this supply, tapped into it, got the full TP. Could have, once again, taken it to the highs, or I don't know, kept going, but that's just a strategy. That's my strategy. Everybody's strategy is different. I like to get those small wins, and then when it's time to get those big wins, I'm ready and I'm prepared for it. So I don't like to force the trades. I don't like to force big risk to reward trades. If it's not there, it's not there. This one I think was like a 2.5. Right here it says a 4, but I got in like about like right there. I got a late entry. Once again, if you haven't seen it, go check my Instagram and TikTok. But it was like a 2.5 risk to reward. So really good trade. We made 2.5 times what I was risking, so that's amazing. Yesterday was a 1-to-1, but yesterday was a setup for today. I didn't want to force that trade yesterday to get stopped out or whatever. Just take the win. Sometimes it's okay to just take the win, and that's exactly what I did yesterday, and that set me up for today. So today was a really good day. Straight bullish bias. Literally had no sells. I was really waiting for this setup to appear. We did have this double top right here that I was kind of like, okay, maybe we're just gonna continue to push down. We got close to stop loss, but I stayed in the trade. I put my automatic stop loss, so if it would have taken me out, it would have taken me out. But we rejected off this demand, and We hit full TP. Once again, I'm gonna say supply and demand is a great strategy. I know a lot of people out there trade inverse fair value gaps, liquidity, whatever. Everybody's strategy is different, but supply and demand works for me. You know, I try liquidity. I've never really tried fair value gaps, but I have seen it work sometimes. But you know, supply and demand is my bread and butter. I'm gonna always go through supply and demand. It's the most simple thing. All you got to do is just wait for that pullback right there, wherever that pullback is, and then you just continue to follow the trend. We're in an uptrend, and I'm gonna continue to follow the trend. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow the wave, ride the wave of the market. You know, I'm not trying to force anything. I'm not trying to outsmart the market. So that's what supply and demand is. You know, there's no outsmarting supply and demand. It's just you wait for the pullback, you wait for a discounted price, and then you take your trades. So that's basically like my strategy. That's basically the trade recap of today. You know, it's the last day of the week. We ended the week strong. 2 wins today. Up 3.5 like in total with risk to reward. So we're gonna come back next week. No trades tomorrow because it is Independence Day. We get a 3-day weekend. You know, if you're trading Nasdaq, make sure to journal your trades. Make sure to review your trades. Make sure to have a good weekend because once Monday hits, we got to get back to work. So just be ready for that. But all in all, today was a really good day, really good week. I actually wasn't, I was going into today not looking to take a trade, but this setup was just too clean. This demand was just, I had to take it. I had to take this trade and it played out. Almost got stopped out, but it played out. So, if you guys want to see like more videos on supply and demand or more videos on anything, just make sure to comment down below. I'm looking to get back on YouTube. I know I took a month break, but back-to-back days posting, so I'm actually really enjoying this. So if you want to see any other type of videos, just comment down below what you want to see. Make sure to like this video as well, subscribe. It's going to help me and encourage me to make more videos. So if you like this video, just like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing.